Time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by New Stopette, America's leading spray deodorant. Now with its anti-immunity factor. Poof! There goes perspiration. Now let's all play What's My Line?
Now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, our publisher panelist, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Thank you. And on my right, one of the nicest girls in the whole world. A little nervous tonight because it's her first appearance in television in almost an hour, Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you, Bennett. And on my right, we welcome back our dear friend, one long pan, Fred Allen.
I've had my pan shortened, Arlene, tonight. And on my right, ladies and gentlemen, a young lady who told me tonight that the reason the sun is so lonesome these days is because the stock market goes down early in the afternoon and doesn't wait for the sun, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And tonight I'm very happy to be able to scoop our moderator with the news that the winner of this year's Peabody Award for Best Newscaster is going to be Mr. John Charles Daly.
Thanks very much. Wonderful start for this evening, and I'll try to do as good for all of the panel as they have done for me.
I didn't know you could do the Peabody, John.
You didn't know Oh, actually, I learned it when I was in school. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What's My Line, and once again tonight we have some very interesting and nice people with some interesting and nice occupations, and we're going to depart from our normal procedures panel, so will you please put your masks on right now?
Now?
Our friends who are the
Just comb my
contestants
hair.
will, of course, arrive with some interesting occupations, all of them intended to baffle the panel, and we trust that this particular procedure will baffle the panel more than somewhat. We'll also have a famous guest challenger before the panel a bit later on, but we think it's about time that these experts of ours, these fine experts, get a chance to face up to the first test of the evening. We'll wait only until all of the masks are on, and Dorothy Kilgallen's coming into the stretch, and now the bow is tied and the knot is on there, and are all the masks in place?
Yes, Mr.
Good.
Daly.
So will you come in, challenger, and sign in, please? Mrs. X, how are you?
Hi, how
Nice
are you,
to see you.
John? Good to see you.
And where are you from?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Well, it's nice to have you with us. I think we will dispense with the normal walk down, and we will also dispense with the wild guesses. So will you come over here and sit down next to me,
Thank
please?
you.
And panel, I think there's enough room. And panel, I just hope that you do well. We will, of course, let the folks at home know what our challenger's line is. At the same time, we weren't going to tell you a thing, but let's let the people at home know what our challenger's line is, and then let the panel go away. All right, panel, all the information you're going to get is that our challenger is salaried. You know how we score this device, ma'am?
Yes, I think so.
All right, fine. Then we will just tell them that you're salaried and begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes,
You're a lady.
I hope so.
Do you deal in services?
Yes.
Is there something about you as you sit next to John Daly that is so distinctive that if I didn't have my mask on, I'd know what you did just to look at you?
Yes.
Well, are you tattooed?
Not tattooed. One down and 9 to go, Mr. Allen.
Well, are you in some form of show business?
Yes.
Are you currently with the circus?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You are? Are you fuzzy about the jowls?
No.
What was that? 2 down
Well, I
and 8 to
thought
go.
a bearded lady, I thought.
No bearded lady. Miss Francis. 2 down and 8 to go.
Well, are you part of the sideshow as opposed to being a performer in the three rings upstairs?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you do something above the audience, that is, something on wires or ropes or, that is, high up in the arena?
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you have anything to do with animals?
No.
Actually, that's 5 down and 5 to go, reserving, Dorothy, the fact that many people in the circus might have contact with animals, but this is not a specific application here. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Allen.
Do you function on the ground?
Yes.
Are you active during the show as opposed to one appearance during the evening or during
Yes.
the performance? You're through the show itself.
Yes.
Are you a lady clown?
Yes. All right, Stanley, you can take your mask off. And I would now like to formally introduce Mrs. Felix Adler in costume. And actually, we had a lot of problems. We wanted Mrs. Adler to be with us.
Which one is you, John?
Which one is more? But actually, as you know, the circus is up at Madison Square Garden, and Mrs. Adler was nice enough, be in costume, come down here, and be here in time.
That's
for
the only way I
program.
can see sawdust these days to go to the circus.
The only way you can see sawdust?
Yes, now that saloons have given it out.
Well, Mrs. Adler, I think we gave them a somewhat rough time of it.
I hope so.
And my thanks for being our guest. It was
Would
wonderful
you
to
light
have
up
the
your
circus.
nose for us before you go?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's nice to have you. Well, a very good beginning, panel. Let's see what you can do with another challenger. Will you sign in, please, ma'am? Celia Abrams, is that right? Mrs. Abrams says she's as nervous as she possibly can be. Well, you don't have to be nervous, because actually, if you tell us where you're from,
Maplewood, New Jersey.
Maplewood, New Jersey, you'll find those 4 folks over on the panel just about as nice as any people you've ever seen. Have a look at them, will you?
Hello, Mrs. Abrams.
Happy Easter, Mrs. Abrams.
All right, Mrs.
What's
Abrams,
left of
over
it,
here,
I
if
mean.
you will, now, and sit down next to me. And the panel is going to get 1 free guess as to what your line may be, and we'll begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think she teaches mathematics.
Teaches mathematics, Mr. Allen.
I think Miss Abrams is a Silex watcher in a coffee shop.
Miss Francis.
I think she's a caramel cutter in a candy factory.
Mr. Cerf.
I think Mrs. Abrams is the new bat boy of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Mrs. Celia Abrams, and at the same time, we will tell them what Mrs. Abrams' line is. All right. Mrs. Abrams, do you know how we score?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's fine. Then Mrs. Abrams is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Fred Allen.
Mrs. Abrams, is there a product involved in what you do?
Yes.
Using the word loosely, might we say that the product is a useful product?
Yes.
It is a useful product. Is it a product that might be construed as being attractive to look at?
Yes.
Is it something that women might enjoy?
Yes.
Is it something that might make a woman more appealing to the opposite sex?
Yes.
It has been known to do so.
Am I on the garden path again, do you think?
Oh, you're doing very well, Fred,
I'm
actually.
caught among the vines once more.
Oh, no, you're doing
Well, I know what I'm trying to get at. Now, if Arlene had quite a lot of this on her, could I smell it from here?
No.
It's not a perfume, then.
No, it is not,
Well, I
Mr.
guess-
Allen. 1 down and 9
I've
to
had
go.
my 1 cent's worth.
Oh.
Miss Francis.
A pun?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ben
wanted-
wasn't ready.
You want to do it again, Fred?
No.
No. All right. All right, Miss Arlene. 1 down and 9 to go.
Well, is this anything, loosely speaking again, that might be worn?
Yes.
In some instances, it is worn, yes, isn't it?
Is it found in the home?
Yes.
Is it found usually in a particular room in the home?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Abrams, would this product have value?
Yes.
Has it anything to do with legal tender, money or anything like that?
Yes.
Is it correct then that you do not work for a profit-making organization?
Is it correct, then, that you do
I
not
think
work for a
is it some
profit-making
kind of
organization?
more or less a government job?
You certainly do. I just thought we'd let him hang himself a little bit more before
It
we
is a
flip the
prof-
card.
it's a
That's right.
bank, though.
It is a profit-making organization. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
You work for a profit-making organization.
Yes.
But the product that we're talking about is green.
Sometimes.
Oh. Well, then you deal with various types of things that have value.
Yes.
Do you work for a bank or an investment company of any type?
No.
No. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Allen.
Do you have an office at which you function? Do you have
Yes.
an office? Or do
Yes.
you work out of doors?
No, Mrs. Abrams works at
Well,
an
she has
office.
a sort of a weather-beaten look. I just...
He means that in the gentlest of spirits.
Oh, no,
I
I mean with
understand.
the color and everything. You're not, you handle many assorted, these objects that you handle, are they used objects? Have they been used before?
Yes.
You don't by any chance, if I had a magnet, could I lift up part of your product that you're handling?
Yes.
You're not a junk dealer by any chance, are you?
No, Mrs. Abrams is not a junk dealer.
Well, I don't know. In Jersey, things are going on, strange things at the end of at the end of the tunnel, John. We don't know what's going on, you know.
That's 5 down and 5 to go. That's what's going on. Miss Francis?
Can't believe that money is junk to you, Fred. It
Well, who
is
said it
money
was
that
money?
you deal with, according to what Bennett interrogated you before and said, was it legal tender? And you said
Yes.
yes. And it is different kinds of money.
Yes.
That's correct, and it's not in a bank. Well, do you make change at all?
Yes.
In a manner of speaking, you could so call it
Yes.
making change.
Do you deal in rare coins?
No.
No, that's 6 down and 4 to go. I'm going to give you 1 more minute to see if you can get this.
There are never 3 little balls in front of the place where you work.
No.
No, Bennett. That's 7 down and 3 to go, Miss
Is
Kilgallen.
there anything else going on where you work besides just money changing or money changing hands? Is there some other activity
No.
like races or anything?
No.
No. Thanks for the clarification. That would give you a no. 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Allen.
There isn't any eating going on. You're not a,
Is there any eating going on?
No.
you don't make change at an automat or anything like that.
Actually, Fred, you said there isn't any eating going on.
That's true.
So I would say, yes, there is no eating going on, and you continue.
John, you can cut half of your words in halves. I still wouldn't know what the other half what can you do with money? You don't wash money. You don't have a money mart over there.
No, that's
Well, they
fine.
wash money.
Do you take the coins from those stanchions that you put dimes in? What do they
No.
call those?
No.
Oh,
Parking meters.
This was a real tough one, Bennell, so you won't have to feel bad about it. Actually, Mrs. Abrams counts money at Brinks Incorporated. Sits there all day counting it, silver. And no. Mrs. Abrams said it wasn't so bad. And thank you very much for being our guest. Hope you had a good time. All right, we'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, Stopette has an old-time movie for you.
This is Millie, a gal with millions who lived in a mansion with servants to cater to her every whim. And she had a yacht, but alas, she had no friends. For she could never find a deodorant that really worked. But one day, Millie saw a sign in a window. You can expect more of Stopette. So she dashed into the store where Ferdy the pharmacist introduced her to Stopette. Stopette keeps you just like a lily, he said. And then he whispered, it's also an antiperspirant. Millie was overjoyed. Now her sumptuous sequin satins would be safe. Then Ferdy added, Stopette also soothes because it's a lotion spray. That did it. I'm sold, Millie cried. Then time passed. Millie and millions bought wonderful Stopette. Soon Ferdy's business grew and grew and grew, and Millie became Ferdy's blushing bride. Oh, happy day, thanks to Starpet, the deodorant you spray. Poof, there goes perspiration.
And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my friends on the panel are once again blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes,
Back
sir.
on.
Yes, Mr. Dale.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right. Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we dispense with preliminaries and get right down to the general questioning, which we will begin with Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Well, that vociferous applause usually means somebody who has had something to do with the movies. Have you ever had any contact in any way with the motion pictures?
Oh, Bennett, I sure have, honey.
Oh, it's a lady. As Captain Hook said. Is it a beautiful lady?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you.
And you are a movie star?
Well, so I've been told. I try.
It's Scarlett O'Hara.
Are you here in New York because you have been doing some chore of one sort or another in town here?
Yes, sir, honey, a big chore.
Well, would that chore have been, by any chance, a television show?
I'm afraid so.
Gosh, I bet this is a girl I've been waiting for 3 years. I've been guessing you if you're the girl I think every other week.
Oh, honey, let's take a little time here now. You ought to get your money's worth.
Yeah. Well, I just got to go for it. Do you mind, honey? I'll do it slowly. Did you ever make any movies with a fellow named John Payne?
Oh, yes, I did.
And did you ever make a television show with Diana Lynn?
Bennett's getting Southern, too, now.
How long
I'm
do you want
afraid so.
How long do you want me to go on with this? Was it stage door?
Well, I want to talk to Arlene and Fred and
Well,
Doc.
all right, then. I'll give them a chance, and I'll pass.
You what?
Well, I know who it is, but
I know you do, Bennett.
'cause I've been waiting for you, honey.
All right, Miss Kilgallen, Mr. Cerf has passed.
Is your last name similar to the name of the discoverer of penicillin? I knew I shouldn't have come here tonight. I passed to Fred.
As long as Bennett knows who it is, I pass to Arlene.
Well, I'll tell you, since Bennett has really guessed you 3 or 4 times in the 5 years we've been on, and he's always been crushed that he hasn't seen you, I'm going to pass back to Bennett again. Nice to talk to you, though.
Well, we've gone a ronda, Miss Fleming.
Out of it.
Well, I tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to stretch it out a bit by asking you, now that you've made your debut in television on Stage Door and happily on What's My Line, how you like the new medium.
Well, it's a little frightening, I must admit. This isn't nearly so bad. This is a lot more fun. But that live television, oh, man. I think I made my first and last.
Oh, no. You did wonderfully in it.
Well, the reviews are very kind.
Everybody agrees. Well, what makes it tougher in your mind than making a movie?
Well, it's like doing a whole movie in just a matter of a week's time with clothes and script, and then you get it all learned and memorized, and they change it on you a day or 2 before. And some of the actors maybe don't show up until 2 days before the show starts. And just a matter of, it's completely hectic. But it certainly is a challenge and a wonderful experience. And I did enjoy the show in spite of how I sound.
I know just how you feel. When I was in college, I was in a college play and had a big line. We got him caught like a rat in a trap, and I got out there first night, and so we got him caught like a trap in a rat. And brought the
Oh, it's hard with one line, I know.
Well, it's awfully nice to have had you come and visit us. Bennett, you can take a small punch at as you say goodnight to him, if
I've
you will.
been guessing you every other show now for about 2 years.
I know it. In fact, it was about a year ago, and
I caught that show where you said this is the first time in 3 weeks we haven't guessed Rhonda Fleming, and I thought Arlene Dahl was going to flip all right through the chair.
Well, thanks very much, Miss Rhonda, for coming to see us.
Thank you.
Will you
I
say hello to
enjoyed
the panel?
it. I
They'd all like to
certainly
meet
will.
you. Now let's see what the panel can do with another challenger. Would you sign in, please, sir? Ben Burley. Is that right, sir? That's right, sir. Where are you from, Mr. Burley?
Metuchen, New Jersey.
Metuchen, New Jersey. Fine. Will you take a quick walk down there in front of the panel?
Got a Sister Hurley? No?
All right, Mr. Burley, over here, if you will, and sit down next to me, and we'll give the panel one free guess as to what your line may be, beginning the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think he writes verses for greeting cards.
Mr. Allen.
I think he's a furler at a flag factory.
Miss Francis.
I think he's Gary Moore's barber.
Mr. Sir.
I think Mr. Burley's one of the crew cuts.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Mr. Burley. At the same time, we will tell them what Mr. Burley's line is. But, Mr. Burley, let's see what the panel can do. You know how we score? Yes, sir. Fine, I won't have to explain it then. Mr. Burley is self-employed. Let's begin the general questioning with Miss Francis.
Is there any product involved in your self-employment?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
I would say yes.
Is it found in the home?
Yes.
Is it a necessity?
No.
No, it's not a necessity. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Well, is it in the home because it helps decorate the home?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Then it does perform a useful function. But
Well,
you-
yes. In the context of modern living, it performs a useful function.
But you could get along without it.
True. Yes.
Do children enjoy this or its function as well as grown-ups?
Yes.
Is it found in other places besides a house?
Yes.
Is it enjoyed by all sexes?
Yes.
How many do you figure that
I meant both. Is it larger than a raspberry?
Larger than a raspberry? Bronx or otherwise? Yes, it's larger than a raspberry.
Is it larger than a baseball?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Is it smaller than a television set?
I would say yes.
Is it solid rather than liquid?
It's solid.
Is it hard rather than squashy?
Yes.
If you had one, would you ever keep it in the living room?
You could.
Would you ever find it in the bedroom?
You could.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does it contain anything?
I mean, is it meant to hold a...
I mean, is there anything inside the outside?
There is, unless you're in the
Well,
back room.
I knew the day was coming. Yeah, there's something inside the outside.
If you dropped it on the floor, would it break?
It wouldn't do it any good.
I would say, in a general description, if you dropped it on the floor, you could say afterwards, oh, I broke it.
Uh-huh.
But you might not have to, understand.
I see, but it would be likely that it might break.
It could, yes.
Does this thing come in different colors?
Yes.
In a manner of speaking, yes, it does.
Is it more square than round?
Yes, it's more square than round.
But it's not quite square.
No, I wouldn't say it was quite square, no.
If you had one of these things, would you be likely to just have one instead of several of them?
You could have several, but I think that Mr. Burley would agree that the general experience might be that there would be one rather than several, right?
Would it cost more than $10?
Some do, some don't.
Well, what about yours?
Well, we're now speaking about his. It could cost more than $10.
Would you buy them at a department store?
You could, yes.
Boy, this is an agreeable product. It does everything.
Except the answer itself.
If you had one of these, would it be in plain sight when company came?
It could be.
If it was, would you ever take it out so that they could see it and do something with it?
Yes, you might. Yes, come. We got about 10 seconds.
Is it fun?
Oh, fun, yes, I should say. This is fun, isn't it? I think
Pass
it's
to
fun.
Fred. Maybe he has an idea.
No, is it something that's used as part of a game?
As part of a game, Fred? No. And we have run out of time, so we'll flip all the cards, and you'll flip when you hear this. Mr. Burley is an harmonica tuner. A very quick explanation. He's the man who gets the plates that make the music and tunes the things so it makes the right kind of music. Thank you very much, Mr. Burley. A most interesting guest. Nice to have you with us. We'll be back in just a moment, but first of all, here is a dance pantomime by Dorothy Jonak for Stopette.
When it comes to a deodorant, some people are still in the dark. Maybe it's time we threw a little light on the subject. You want a deodorant to make you mighty like a rose. But if you think that's enough, you're very, very mistaken. So, why don't you get next to Stopette? Stopette protects those pretties next to you. That devastating dress. That altogether bewitching lingerie. You see, Stopette is an antiperspirant, too, and here's how it works. It closes down your pores like so many tiny, tiny little windows. But Stopette doesn't stop there. Stopette is gentle as a spring day. When you pick Stopette, you're picking a lotion spray with soothing, soothing ingredients. It's wonderful. Poof! There goes perspiration. Shouldn't you get Stopette?
And now, before our panel says good night, may I remind you to tune in again next Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when once again we invite you to play What's My Line. For other localities, check your local listings for the date and time of our weekly series.
The Remington shave is the fast shave. Just watch how fast those whiskers come off. Earlier, Jim Congdon shaved the other half of his face with the old-fashioned wet shaving method, and it took more than 4 minutes. But look how fast he's shaving the rest of that full beard with the Remington electric shaver. That's because the Remington is man-size, has 3 diamond-honed shaving heads. For the fast, clean shave you've always wanted, give yourself the Remington shave.
There goes Bennett Cerf.
What a wonderful Easter and a meter harmonica tuner. Good night, John.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
Transportation for What's My Line is arranged through American Airlines. American Airlines, the country's leading airline, now serving the United States, Mexico, and Canada. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production, in association with the CBS Television Network.